My hometown of Vernon is located within the Okanagan Nation territory. Okanagan translates to transport toward the head of the top end. This refers to the First Peoples traveling from the head of Okanagan Lake, 84 miles south to where the Okanagan River meets the Columbia. Post-contact, steamship paddle wheelers moved people and goods up and down the valley. We also have the beautifully colored Kalamalka Lake, named after Chief Kalamalka, a man well respected by his people. Both of these lakes are very important for our recreational tourism. Another important tourist attraction is Silver Star Mountain, which is the third largest ski resort in BC, known for its champagne powder with 132 runs. Our economic base also consists of forestry, agriculture, technology, manufacturing, and service sectors. I'm ahead of my slides. Vernon was the first incorporated city in the valley in 1892, and for many years was the largest and most influential. Our city of 40,000 does not have a population base that mirrors the rich tapestry of diversity such as we find in Vancouver. Our age demographic of over 65 is 22% compared to the BC average of 14. We have been considered a traditional municipality, and that aging population is a sign that the direction has been dominated by that lens and approach. Like many communities across the country, we have our share of dark history as well. Between 1914 and 1920, Vernon was the site of one of 24 enemy alien internment camps in Canada. Michelle Lowry, a local artist and internee descendant, applied to the Internment Recognition Fund to install the Sunflower mural in honor of the over 1,000 internees. Over 800 of the internees were used as free labor to build roads and bridges. In 2000, a large multicultural mural was installed which embodies some of the cultures represented in the city. Each individual in this mural was specifically selected because he or she was one of the earliest pioneers for the culture in our region. Although murals are great, we recognized in 2013 that we needed to assess how welcoming we were through the lens of new immigrants and refugees. Our Welcoming Communities project resulted in free bus and recreation passes to welcome our Syrian refugees, a communications protocol to manage incidents of racism or hate, and a public art mosaic installation created by the multicultural community, which was installed on a city-owned building. We, every month, recognize multicultural champions, and here we have 3 that are representing the Chinese community, the Okanagan Indian Band, and the Filipino community. In 2015, Mayor and Council supported an initiative entitled I Am Respect. The public art pieces are diverse and thought-provoking. Several diverse groups were chosen to write I Am alphabet that best describe themselves on black mural boards. This past September, the city with 22 partner organizations embarked on Respect Fest 2017 to celebrate Canada's 150. Our Canadian identity is based on our multicultural mosaic, yet as a nation we still struggle to honor our Indigenous people. That is certainly the case for Vernon. We chose 4 main themes. The first is respecting our land and environment, which resulted in this amazing diversity mural bead project that featured art by members of our community, and the buoys are all recovered from the Ocean Legacy Foundation. Another main theme was honoring our Indigenous history and roots. This amazing dancer from the Squaxin Nation was honored at 2 of our events. Respect Fest also benefited from the significant contribution of our OKIB community members who generously shared of their culture in reconciliation workshops, smudge ceremonies of healing and peace, and many other engaging activities. While we have worked well with our greater community on multiculturalism, the city as an organization is moving to a broader scale of diversity and inclusion. I'm not saying, I'm a little ahead of this one, I have to time this one really well. I'm not saying City Hall is exactly reflective of this penguin slide, but we certainly have room for improvement. Mayor and Council have recognized the desire for change in our community. What once has been a traditional community with a conservative population We are growing and we see the necessity of sharing the richness of our diversity story. We are focused on capacity building, leadership, and learning throughout the entire corporation. In 2016, a young Vernon resident proposed an 8-color rainbow crosswalk for a prominent intersection in downtown Vernon. He stated that this would represent a supportive and inclusive community and that we should love everyone as human beings rather than fitting them into groups. At first, there was a lot of chatter and noise about this crosswalk, as I'm sure some of you have experienced. However, now it simply is. It is a symbolic piece of art in our downtown core. The diversity represented in the colorful flow is respected as part of who we are and focuses on how we aspire to be. This past year, we had the good fortune to have Drew from Transfocus Consulting present workshops to council and staff to help us understand diversity and transgender inclusion. We have just recently ordered new signage to be installed in our public recreational buildings, which are owned and operated by the city. And on April 30th, we are being presented with a cultural competency workshop with a focus on Indigenous issues and reconciliation. In February of this year, the City of Vernon and the OKIB embarked on a 3-year First Nations Municipal Partnership Program. We are one of 10 partnerships in Canada to participate in the Community Economic Development Initiative. The goal is that we are stronger together. Thank you for the opportunity to share a piece of our story.